Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Folge 15 von Highway Blossoms. Ich bin jetzt zurück nach knapp 2 Monaten, seit ich die letzte Aufnahme gemacht habe. Ihr habt es nicht gemerkt, weil jede Woche ein Video kam, aber naja, whatever. Wir machen weiter, wo wir aufgehört haben. Das war, nachdem Amber und Marina den dritten Teil des Schatzes gefunden haben in der letzten Folge. Und danach war eine ziemlich awkward Szene, die war so, gibt's jetzt Romance oder nicht? Und es war so, nein, gibt's nicht. Und sie waren einfach irgendwie beide sad und... Wenn ich das richtig erinnere, naja. So, ihr habt es vielleicht gerade verpasst, weil ich es bestimmt rausgeschnitten habe. Aber ich habe gerade erstmal den falschen Spielstand geladen, dann festgestellt, so, hey, das ist falsch. Dann gedacht, okay, lade ich den anderen. Habe außerdem noch Save gedrückt. Durfte gerade erstmal durch, keine Ahnung, einige Stunden an Dialogen skippen. Geht eigentlich, weil diese Skip-Funktion ist ziemlich nice. Also, machen wir endlich weiter. A brisk wind curls around me as I step out onto a patch of dirt that can barely be called a parking spot in a place that can barely be called a campground. Nice. Misty curtains have settled over the nearby hills and mountains, and small specks of leftover morning dew occasionally drip on me from above. Bending down, I drop my backpack... Hicks. Schluck auf. Ach, wie schön. I drop my backpack and pull on the tongue of my assorted new hiking boots. A little big, but they'll work. The tongue? Was ist die Zunge von Stiefel? Whatever. Considering these came from the stash of supplies we borrowed from Mariah in New Mexico, her feet must be freaking huge. Welche Supplies? Ah, sie haben noch mehr als... Ich dachte, sie hätten nur die Schaufeln und den Metalldetektor gebaut. Oh, nice.
All set?
Marina's standing behind me, frowning at her own Velcro-strapped boots. Was ist Velcro? Das will ich jetzt wissen. Ich habe jetzt wieder... Oh, ich will jetzt in meinem Wörterbuch nachschauen auf dem Handy, ne? Und jetzt dauert es wieder länger, weil ich habe jetzt wieder ein Dings da, Screen, Klettverschluss. Velcro ist Klettverschluss. Und das ist eine Marke, so wie Tempo. Die sagen einfach Velcro zu Klettverschlüssen, wie komische Menschen Tempo zu Taschentüchern sagen. Also, ich habe wieder ein Screenblocker, Screenlock drin. Ich habe mein traumatisches Erlebnis in Neuseeland überwunden, wo ich mein Handy am Ende kaum mehr entsperren konnte und das entfernen musste. Naja, weiter geht's.
Just about. These boots are pretty big, though.
You think so? They feel a bit snug to me.
Sheesh. Never mind about Mariah.
Hey, forget about the treasure. Let's just dress you up as Bigfoot and turn you in for a cash reward.
Nice. The joke is awful and I know it. Still, Marina plays along, sticking her tongue out in a half-playful manner before she forces a tired smile. Oh Mann. Sorry, ich muss etwas trinken. The whole time she doesn't make eye contact. Ah, awkward. So much for lightening the mood. Last night's sudden tension is still present. Even though we try to ignore it or pretend it isn't there, we both know. We both can't look at each other directly, and our conversation feels awkward and stilted. But we pretend everything's normal as we try to put on our best performances and reenact our usual routine.
So, how long is the hike?
The brochure said about 90 minutes each way. Might take even longer in this weather.
Oh.
I can feel the gulf between us. It's like yet another canyon, except I don't know how to cross this one.
The picture in the brochure was super pretty. Angel's Landing, right?
Now it's her turn to try and lighten the mood. I hate how we're both too afraid to just address the issue. But I'm just as guilty as she is here. I sigh and play along as best I can. Fehlt das da? Kann man das tatsächlich so sagen?
Yeah, it's nice. It's supposed to be the most scenic view in Zion.
Zion. Den Ort würde ich irgendwo in Jerusalem erwarten. Eher als Israel, meine ich. Nicht Jerusalem. Eher als in Amerika. That's what Gramps told me anyway. This hike was one of his favorites. said the view is so lush that there's so many trees and plants that he discovered several new shades of green up there. It was one of the spots that he was most looking forward to visiting with me. I glanced back up at the mountains. The mist doesn't look like it will clear anytime soon. In fact, it seems to be swallowing up more of the landscape. It's got Marina's attention too. She stares up as if she's picking out specific details in the fog. While she's distracted, I let my oh, verdammt! Sorry, trockener Hals und so. Sprechen ist schwer. While she's distracted, I let my gaze rove over her again. Guiltily, like I'm sneaking glances, but I don't care. Admiring the sweep of her shoulders down into her collarbone and the rest of the curves of her body. I let myself examine her like I did when we first met, and like I've been consciously abstaining from. Looking her over like it doesn't matter if she catches me anymore. She doesn't though. I may as well be invisible to her right now while she studies the mountaintops. And I want her to pay attention to me. She's wearing her usual boutique brand clothes. The cute frilliness is just as perfect as ever for Marina, but they clash with the clunkiness of the ugly brown boots.
You sure you want to wear that? They might just get in the way.
She gasps, almost offended by the suggestion that she wear anything else.
But my skirt is so comfy. Aren't you supposed to wear comfy clothes on hikes?
Yeah.
Besides, with a name like Angel's Landing, it has to be pretty relaxing.
Sollen wir das Tor zur Hölle umbenennen? Highways. Sorry. She gives me a big honest smile, tipping her head to the hills. It's the first real smile I've seen from her all day.
So, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Ja, Mädchen, bessere Stimmung. Finde ich gut. Danke. I melt, letting her skewed reasoning fall to the wayside just this once. Warm fuzzies and a goofy grin take over my dour mood. Just for a moment.
Alright, but no whining if they end up being a problem.
Slinging the backpack over my shoulder, we head for the shuttle that leads to the trail. Logs and a stone fire pit adorn the side of each lot that we pass. Oh, verdammt, warum ist mein Hals so kratzig? Maybe when we get back, we'll go to the camp store and pick up some supplies to roast marshmallows. Ich glaube, hier suchen sie jetzt nicht nach dem Schatz, sondern sind da, weil sie, ich glaube, Amber hatte gesagt, es ist noch was auf dem Weg, was ich dir zeigen möchte oder so. Richtig? Gut, dass ich Ahnung habe von meinem eigenen Let's Play. Ich weiß, was abläuft. I think she'd like that. Ja, Lagerfeuer sind nice. Auch wenn Marshmallows on a stick ein bisschen weird sind. Marina's heavy breathing guides me as we slog our way uphill, the previous light mist having now morphed into a thick and dreary fog. I cling to the chained railing as I stumble my way up the trail of rocks. It's the only protection from the sheer drop-off beside us. All it would take is one slip for me to take a nosedive into the valley below, and I wouldn't even see it coming. Turns out, the fluffy and enticing name, Angel's Landing, doesn't come with the relaxing stroll Marina was hoping for. Who would have thought? This feels more like a ghastly death march. My sweat-drenched legs feel like putting under the anchor that is the measly 5-pound backpack. Das ist verdammt wenig. Das ist halt gerade mal genug zu trinken für eine Person für einen Tag. Wenn sie nur Wasser drin hat. Okay. No one else on the shuttle even bothered to attempt the hike alongside us. I attempt to form words between pained breaths, feeling like a rock is being smashed into my lungs with each step.
We should turn back.
Ihr hört euch an, als würdet ihr gerade einen Marathon laufen. Eher als eine Wanderung. Ich meine, Wandern ist auch anstrengend. Es geht mehr auf die Beine als auf die Atmung. Was?
Can't see Jack.
Where is Jack? Meine Witze sind so gut.
It's not safe up here.
What?
She sounds like she's doing about as well as me, echoing the same lung-puncturing gasps.
But we're so close.
How can you tell?
There's no way we're not almost there.
Oh. Von diesem Glauben würde ich ganz schnell Abstand nehmen. Das ist halt seriously gefährlich. Ich bin mal eine Stunde gewandert auf einer Wanderung, die so eigentlich eine halbe Stunde dauern sollte. Ich dachte so, hey, wir müssen gleich da sein. Halbe Stunde später, also noch insgesamt dreimal so lange, wie es dauern sollte. Ja, jetzt sind wir da. Wenn man noch einen längeren Rückweg hat, ist das schwierig. We stop, collapsing against our knees as we try to catch our breath. Pause ist eine gute Idee.
Not gonna mean a lot if we end up falling off a cliff.
I thought you were the one who wanted to do this so bad.
Every couple words are punctuated by her gasping for breath.
Yeah, but...
Amber, please, let's keep going.
Her voice is a whimper, fragile and meek. I fold.
Okay.
Marina has a way of making me shut up when she wants to, whether she knows it or not. Today it doesn't make a difference. I'm not going to be the one who makes things worse. She's wrong about one thing though. I wasn't the one who wanted to hike up here, not? Gramps was. It gets easier after our break. The trail begins to plateau and the steepness evens out. Oh, das ist der Sound vom Spiel. Ich dachte gerade so, seit wann habe ich eine Bahnstrecke in der Nähe und hier zieht gerade wie ein Zug vorbei oder so. The trail begins to plateau and the steepness evens out, fading behind us until the return trip.
I think we're already here. See? What did I tell you?
Marina darts ahead, disappearing into the fog. Mädchen, nein, bitte nicht. So she can look at the mythical view that the brochure and I have preached to her and Gramps to me. But if my suspicions are right, this weather and the view aren't going to be very compatible. Following behind, I step out of the cloudy murk and into an area that offers only slightly more visibility. Marina stands still on the center of the cliff, her hand clutched to her heart. What should have been a bird's eye view of Zion is nothing but a sea of fog. The lush greenery and full valleys are invisible. Only a few overgrown bushes and some rocky points peek out above the clouds. I was expecting it, but the sight itself really is numbing. The hollowness in my stomach, the one I've gotten so used to feeling, rears its head once again, only intensified by Marina's silence, any expression shrouded by her bangs as she tilts her head down.
Sorry.
Gently, she shakes her head.
Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. You tried to warn me.
Marina.
But I don't know what to say. I'm disappointed too. There were a lot of places Gramps always talked about visiting. After we settled down and kicked back for a few years. After I finish repairing the RV. After I get better. This place came up more than the others though. Not just Zion, but the landing. Kept saying we were going to hike up here, have a picnic, maybe watch the sun come up. A slight smile comes to my face as I think about him trying to make that hike. I'd have liked to see the geezer try. While I'm not a big enough sap to try and make all of my and Gramps' plans happen now, it would have been nice to see the view. With Gramps, Marina, and everything that's happened over the past month, it just seemed fitting to make the trip. Angel's Landing. I glanced back to Marina, the hand that was clutched to her chest now stretched outwards, grasping at the empty air. A slight breeze blows through, ruffling her hair. She looks beautiful. She looks angelic. I didn't go to church much as a kid, but she looks like someone I'd see on a stained glass window. Right next to a rendition of Calvary or Skull Hill. Calvary und Skull Hill sagt mir beides absolut gar nichts. It's frustrating to have come this far for nothing. But is it because of the fog? Because of Grams? Or because of Marina? My teeth grit, grinding against each other under what feels like an unimaginable weight.
Come on, let's go.
I turn around and begin down the slope. There's nothing else worth seeing up here. Marina doesn't follow. No spirited footsteps trailing behind me. No speeding bullet blazing ahead.
Marina, we're going.
It comes out with more bite than I intended, but I don't care. I just want to get out of here now. Marina's hesitant to answer, but eventually manages to spit it out, sounding more like a question than an actual statement.
I don't want to.
What?
I don't want to leave. Not yet, anyway.
Annoyed, I turn back to her for an explanation, only to be greeted by a pleading look instead.
I'm used to it by now. I know I am. But do you think we could wait a little longer? Just to see if the fog clears?
I don't know what it is. I respond with a blank stare. It's like she's not even talking to me.
Don't be stupid.
I start back down the hill, not bothering to wait for Marina this time. Oh, don't do that.
It's past noon. If it hasn't cleared by now, then it's not going to anytime soon.
So much for not making things worse. No, don't. Das sieht nice aus. Aber das gefällt mir jetzt nicht so. Lässt sie jetzt wirklich... Ich dachte echt, sie wäre jetzt ohne sie runtergegangen. Wow. I nudge the fire with a stick. It doesn't do any good though, as the logs just tumble on top of each other, smothering the already pitiful flame. For a moment, our lot is only lit by the few remaining embers in the pit. Sighing, I grab the bottle of lighter fluid and squirt it onto the ashes. An artificial flame roars into existence, then peters to the size of a pathetic candle flicker just as quickly. I plunge the stick back into the fire and scrape cinders from the glowing wood. Eventually, a flame catches on a charred log and grows until the pit is blazing once again.
Aha! About damn time.
The joy is exclusive to me, however, as Marina stays silent, staring into the fire.
Want another s'more?
She bounces back to life.
Oh my god, yes, please.
She catches herself and switches back to broodiness. Okay.
I mean, sure, I guess.
Wait. What just happened? I roll my eyes but can't help smiling on the inside. No matter how hard she tries, she's still the same Marina she's always been. Was versucht sie denn? Ist sie böse? I grab a marshmallow and stick it on the end of a bent coat hanger before handing it to her. Without another word, she plops it into the fire. Meanwhile, my eyes are drawn to the neglected bag of hot dogs lying behind the chocolate and graham crackers, unopened and ignored. I bought them because I thought Marina would like the variety, but I should have known that she would only go after the marshmallows. Yeah. Yeah. She's been devouring them. She opened the bag when we left the store, and it was half empty by the time we got back to the campsite. She clung to the bag like a security blanket the whole way. It's a miracle there are even any left. Shrugging, I take one of the hot dogs out of the bag and impale it on my coat hanger, then put it in the fire next to Marina's. Even when we're this close to each other, there's still an air of tension. The one that's pervaded since we left Arches. Neither of us have addressed it, but the inevitability of the treasure, the thick uneasiness that hangs over us. It's suppressed, but it's definitely there. But it's gotten better since we left Angel's Landing. The snacks were a peace offering of sorts, I guess. although I was pleasantly surprised that she sat so close to me, even with 3 other logs around the fire pit. I fix my gaze on the flames. The dog is slimy, oozing with condensation that drips and sizzles in the ashes. The dog? Was? Muss ich jetzt nachhauen? Nachhauen, genau. Dog. Schreckschraube. Bock. Unattraktive Frau. Das hilft mir nicht. Okay, keine Ahnung.
Oh God, it's on fire! It's on fire! Fire! Fire!
Oof. Marina's coat hanger whooshes over me like a spastic comet, the marshmallow now a smoldering ball of inferno.
Here, give it to me.
But it's on fire, Amber! Fire!
I can see that. Just give it.
She panics, squirming as her precious marshmallow burns before her very eyes.
Alright, just don't hurt yourself, please.
Frantically, she passes me the wire, biting her nails as I try to blow it out. Soon the fire clears. The marshmallow, once white and fluffy, is now black and charred.
Aw, now it's ruined.
It's no big deal. You can still eat it.
Preparing the s'more, I break apart the chocolate and cracker, then squish the marshmallow between them. Okay.
Ew, gross. But it's all black and stuff.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it. Honestly, I think I might prefer it burned.
Okay, interessant.
That's so... ew.
She gives a nervous laugh.
Here, just try it.
Marina stares at the s'more and gulps. Ich bin jedes Mal von diesem S-Apostroph verwirrt.
Fine, but only because you asked.
Okay. Closing her eyes, she opens her mouth wide. Wide open. This time it's my turn to gulp. I shuffle back. Subtly trying to avoid eye contact and once again failing, I pop the s'more into her mouth and let out a restful sigh. Like bubblegum, she munches on it in the corner of her mouth, instantly trying to dissect the flavor in her own cute way.
So...
Her eyes grow wide in shock.
It's good.
Let's burn some more marshmallows.
Right? Doesn't it give it a nice smoky flavor?
It's a little bitter at first, but the marshmallow gets really crunchy. So good.
I told you so. You just gotta give these things a shot.
I can't believe I had my first s'more and found a way to make it better in the same day. I feel like that would take most people like a bajillion years to figure out.
Amber is not that old yet.
But it only took me one night because I got you, Amber.
Gobsmacked? Dumbfounded? They're both stupid fancy words, but I think they work when trying to figure out this thing sitting beside me. Was ist gobsmacked auch für ein Wort? Das hört sich schon wieder lustig an.
Amber?
You're kidding me.
What?
Your first s'more?
Well, I've seen people eat them on TV and stuff before, but...
You have never ever had a s'more in your entire life.
Now that I think about it, I guess I haven't.
That confirms it.
Huh? Confirms what?
You're an alien. The government has just been keeping you hidden all this time. That's why I met you near Roswell. It's the only explanation.
I am not. If I were an alien, then why do I look human?
That's just a flesh suit. A disguise so you can blend in.
That's mean. You can't just buy these good looks at the costume store.
What's your sector ID? Is this your first time away from your home planet?
Amber, stop. It's not my fault.
Her face puffs out, and I have to resist the urge to poke and deflate it. If I don't quit, she may actually start pouting.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
I'm tempted to squeeze one more joke out, but decide against it as I try to hold back the snicker under my breath.
I think I like you better when you're serious.
She crosses her arms, turning away as she closes both eyes to block me out. Then with a grin, one eye open. We both burst out laughing. Since the hike, the fog has climbed down the hill, enveloping the campground. Even here, it's carved out a small pocket, the breezy hills surrounding us chill. The breezy chill surrounding us as we take in the warm glow of the fire. It feels nice.
But for real, I still can't believe this is your first time leaving home.
She settles down a bit and places her hands in her lap, teetering side to side as she looks through the sky, even though there's nothing to look at but mist.
Yeah, sometimes I have trouble believing it too. Since there's so many of us, I guess Mom and Dad could never afford to take us anywhere.
That's what I thought. For families as big as she says, it's not like they could have just packed up and traveled like me and Gramps.
You said you have 9 brothers and sisters, right?
Yep, there's 9 of us, plus Mom and Dad, so 11 altogether.
If there's 9 of us, she can't have 9 brothers and sisters. That's what she said, right? Wait. Math check.
You said you have 9 brothers and sisters, right?
If she has 9 brothers and sisters and 2 parents, then there's 11 plus her, so it's 12. Ha!
Yep, there's 9 of us, plus Mom and Dad, so 11 altogether.
Check.
Jesus.
Right? Everyone says our house is pretty big, but it's always been so cramped that I've never been able to tell.
Kind of relatable, ja. Ich glaube, ich kenne keine einzige deutsche Familie, die mehr als 5 Kinder hat. Ich weiß nicht mal, ob ich überhaupt eine kenne, die 5 Kinder hat. Nummer 10, what?
I've never even had my own room. I've always had to share one with some of my sisters. My older brother shared 2 until one of them went off to college.
Is that the same brother whose car got torn apart by Mariah?
She laughs guiltily.
Yeah, he always called it his love wagon.
You mean like the pickup truck? Ich hoffe nicht.
If that thing was a love wagon, then my motorhome is a love palace.
Ooh, that's a good name for it.
Oh God.
Don't even start.
Anyway, he said he wanted to get a new one when he got to Salt Lake City, so I don't think he'll be too angry.
Hold on, that's in Utah too. Why didn't you tell me? The detour would have been a pain in the ass. But if you wanted to visit him, I wouldn't have minded the extra miles. Not if it was for you.
Vielleicht freut sie sich einfach, ihre Geschwister mal los zu sein. Marina does a double take and I realize I've given too much away.
You'd have to pay for gas though.
Marina blinks then smiles. Crisis averted.
Nah, it's okay. I want to do this without my family's help. Besides, it's only a community college.
That means...
Your brother moved from New Mexico to Utah so he could attend a community college?
Uh-huh. He sends me a gift every month. Last month, it was a top hat. I put it right on top of the desk in my room.
She pauses for a moment.
Mine and my sister's room, I mean.
Your family sounds about as weird as you.
Really? Huh. Yeah, I guess we are.
She beams, wearing the title of weird like a badge of honor. Ja? Kann ich relaten?
That's not a good thing. Actually, maybe it is.
Yes, you understand.
I like it. Besides, Dad keeps us all in line. He's a defense lawyer, super straight-laced. You remind me of him, actually. He likes everything nice and orderly, which is bad for him because he's surrounded by us, but...
You remind me of my dad. Oof. She talks for a long time, chattering and laughing about her family, the smile never leaving her face. I almost get lost in it. I almost want to. For the precious minutes that she speaks, I forget the tension that shadowed us since Arches and could believe it was never there. I love that about Marina. Even when we're wet with rain or humoring truck drivers or racing a lunatic down the highway, she never hesitates to smile. For her, it's always poised on the brim, waiting to shine through. I could listen all night, but she trails off only a short time later.
I'm sorry. This must be boring, right?
Nah, I can tell you love him a lot. It was always just me and Gramps. So it's sorta interesting to see how other families work.
The lot falls silent, save for the crackling flames. I brace myself for what I know is coming. Yep.
Hey, Amber? What happened to your mom and dad?
I stare into the fire. It pops, casting up delicate embers that fall and vanish in the dirt.
I'm sorry. That was too personal.
No, it's fine. They're both around, I think. Only met Dad once a long time ago. Me and Ma don't get along very well. I haven't spoken to her since I was 16. Last I heard, she was living in some trailer park in Ohio.
Trailer Park Boy, Girls.
Is that why you lived with your grandpa?
Aber wie kommt das einfach als 15-jähriges... Boah. Wollten ihre Eltern sie einfach nicht haben?
Sorta. Ma always had her issues.
Oh.
So the court said Gramps could take care of me when I was a baby.
A stifle I love.
Not that it did any good. The geezer had the bright idea to haul me around the Midwest and East Coast for half my life.
Ich meine, das ist unpraktisch, so Schule angeht, aber hört sich eigentlich ziemlich cool an.
He took care of you all by himself? He must have been amazing.
Try again. He was an old hippie who was stuck in the 70s and spent most of his time listening to weird music.
Sounds just like you.
Naja, weird hippie stuck in the 70s? Naja, aber es listens to weird music, yeah, check.
Hey, watch it. If anything, he was more like you. I was always cleaning up his messes, even as a little girl, even near the...
The wood. I choked down a growing lump in my throat. Oh. Ah.
Even near the end.
Amber,
It was always just the two of us, though. Us, or any random old friend he wanted to see. Even when he decided to settle down in Colorado, it was just us. People would come and go, but it was always us. And I was there for all of it. I was there for every single appointment. I was there at the hospital, and I was there at the funeral. Ma didn't even bother to come to that, but I was there. And he was always there too.
you really miss him, huh?
My voice lowers to a whisper, raspy and dry.
Yeah.
Something slumps against my shoulder. Glancing down, I discover Marina's head resting against me.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Ah,
She looks up at me.
Want me to stop?
nah. Keep doing it.
Okay.
We should turn in soon. We have a big day ahead of us.
Yeah, maybe.
We sit in silence for a little while. Or maybe it's a long time. I can't tell. It's a nice silence though. A comfortable one. Finally,